The woman desperately tried to stop herself from crying, but the tears just wouldn't quit flowing. When everything occurred, she didn't expect a stranger to get involved and was incredibly apprehensive when she saw what was happening. Wasn't it clear enough that she had been through more than she needed to? However, she was left even more astonished when the truth finally dawned on her. Here's what happened to her. Before we start, can we get this video to 1,000 likes? Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Savannah has struggled with her weight for the majority of her life. She was put at the receiving end of incredibly hateful comments for many years. This further deteriorated her self-esteem. Whenever Savannah would fly, she always did out of necessity instead of pleasure. All of her trips were for business, and she didn't have a choice in the matter of flying. However, one thing that gave her relief was booking empty rows, but this wasn't always possible. When Savannah was booking her ticket, she found that the airplane was already full. However, she tried her luck once again on the day of her flight. She arrived at the check-in gate to see if anyone had canceled, but no one had. It seemed that her worst fear was coming true, and she was going to have to endure a packed flight. As Savannah walked towards the boarding gate, she monitored all the passengers she came across. She felt as though everyone was looking at her. Her body was consumed with anxiety. She finally got to her window seat and let a sigh out as she sat down. Savannah sat across from an older man who was in the aisle seat. It was very clear that the man was judging Savannah for being overweight, and it seemed as though he wanted to let Savannah know exactly how he felt. The older man decided to type a message, which wouldn't usually be a problem. But he made the font incredibly big and made the screen as bright as possible. He angled the phone in such a way that would allow Savannah to see. She was shocked when she saw what he had written. After seeing what he had written, Savannah turned away and looked out of the window. She tried to stop herself from crying even though she was deeply upset by what the man had said. However, she didn't know that she wasn't the only person to witness what the man had done. It was clear what this older man was trying to do, and he had succeeded. His views had been noticed, and it left Savannah feeling the same way she did in high school when the bullies in her classes would bring her down. Savannah was looking out the window when the older man felt someone tap on his shoulder. He was met by a man that said he needed to speak to the older man immediately. He demanded that he switch seats, which the older man did. Chase took a seat by Savannah and started talking to her. She was so grateful that the man had done such a kind act. Words couldn't express her gratitude, and she took to social media to share the story by writing a post on Facebook. The goal of her writing the Facebook post was to get reunited with the kind man that had helped her on the flight. She wrote about what the older man had done, and that Chase was a witness to this. She was left feeling ashamed, and Chase came in and saved the day by demanding that the older man switch seats with him. Savannah was shocked to see the response she got from her post. There were many people that left encouraging comments and tried to assure her not to let the older man's words get to her. Many people praised Chase for what he did. The power of Facebook is a wonderful thing because Savannah got what she wanted. The hive mind of Facebook users managed to figure out the hero's identity. It turned out that Chase was the Dierks Bentley's whiskey bar and restaurant manager. The media began jumping on the story. It turned out that Chase had seen the way the older man was acting towards Savannah and could sense that something was about to go down. He stated that there was no way that Chase was going to let the man get away with what he had done after seeing the message he wrote. The message shocked Chase, but what was so shocking that the older man wrote. It was later revealed that the older man had sent a message to his wife detailing that he was sitting next to a smelly fatty that was flowing over his armrest, and that it made him sick. Chase later revealed that he recorded the man typing the message on Snapchat. He also saw Savannah read the message. Chase went on to explain that he disliked any form of discrimination. He knew he needed to intervene after he saw what the older man had done. He knew that he required backup, so he informed a flight attendant before going ahead with his plan. According to Chase, he went up to the fat-shaming older man and demanded that they switch seats. The older man was confused at first and asked why. The man was under the impression that Chase was offering him a better seat. Chase wanted to embarrass the older man for his behavior, and he did this by stating that he was a heartless person. He informed him that he had read the message the older man had written. The older man was in shock while Chase took the man's seat before he had the chance to respond. The Facebook post went on to gain more than 7,000 comments and 1,300 comments. Chase was sent thousands of messages praising him for his heroic intervention. However, what happened with Savannah after everything occurred? Savannah has stated that she forgives the man for what he said. In an interview, she said that she has also said things in her life that she shouldn't have. She never wrote the Facebook post out of hate. It was created with only pure intentions. Aside from the confrontation on the plane, both Savannah and Chase didn't speak to the man after that. She didn't even know who the man was, and she doesn't want to know. The goal of sharing the story was never for the rude man. All of the credit in this story goes to Chase, who only reacted out of the kindness of his heart. Through this story, Savannah was able to raise awareness for those who have experienced body shaming. The sad part is that this isn't the only story involving body shaming out there. There are plenty, and the majority of these stories don't have a happy ending because there isn't a Chase in the storyline like there was in Savannah's story. Savannah has always struggled with her self-esteem. This can be linked to the bullying and fat shaming she experienced in school. It's scary that school children's words can have a lasting effect on someone's life. Schools are notorious for bullying, and studies have been conducted on the effect this bullying has on a child. One study found that fat shaming at a young age can cause long-term obesity. This shows that bullying isn't being taken seriously enough. However, from Savannah's story, it seems that bullies like this never grow up. They grow older and crueler. There's no excuse for what he did. There's no knowing what the storyline would have looked like if Chase wasn't in the picture.